Google listing webinar. It's one of the most important things that we are finding that we're able to help our clients with, and I'd like to help you understand how to leverage it. Because I'm finding even many sophisticated digital marketing professionals and digital marketing retailers out there who have retail stores and they've been leveraging digital marketing for quite a while are not leveraging Google listings the way they should. It can help you increase your business. It can help you increase sales. It can help you increase foot traffic. It could help you get found. It helps your trustability. So we are going to break it down for you and talk about why the Google listings are so important. First of all, they help your reputation. Reputation management is huge in 2020. It helps your voice search. When people go to Google and they ask it questions all the time, it's the Google listing that they might be looking at. So your Google listing is critical so people understand how to modify their Google listing so it helps you get found through voice searches. Very critical. And it also is above the fold in search results for free. It's above the fold in search results when you're posting to your Google listing regularly, which is also free. So those are the three things I really want you to walk away from this webinar with: understanding how to improve your company's reputation, understand how to help Google search results that are done through voice, through optimizing your Google listing, and how to help yourself get found for free above the fold on Google. Okay, so I always say that there are two parts of digital marketing. There's the subliminal, which is social media. If you've been to any of my digital marketing certification courses or workshops, you would have heard me talk about this in the last year, that there's subliminal, which is where people are going to figure out how they feel about you because they've seen your activity on some of the social media platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, and so forth. Then there's direct marketing where they're actually searching for your keyword, and it could be in LinkedIn these days or in Google, which is what we are here to talk about. And in that case, you need to make sure that your Google listing is optimized so you actually come up when someone is directly searching for you. Hopefully they've seen your activity on the social side, so when they see your listing, they have feelings of trust and authenticity, and they want to click on your Google search results. But let's make sure they find your Google search results. They say that 81% of people's consumers' decisions are based on their friends' social media posts, but also that's based on, excuse me, it's also based on their reviews, on finding reviews. So this is something you've seen me talk about with my social media webinars and workshops, but also reviews. So 81% of people are going to base what they've heard about or seen you do on social media, and then they are also going to base their if they're going to buy from you, if they're going to trust you, based on your Google listing reviews or your Facebook reviews. They say that people are going to look for at least 10 reviews before they trust you. So this is something you can do on your Google listing, increase the number of reviews, positive reviews you have to help increase your business. Okay, so again, there's the subconscious, which is the social media activity you're doing, and then there's the conscious, which is the Google work that we're doing, and that's what we're going to focus on now, your Google listing. So let's get going. So what is your Google listing all about? It's something that you can find if you search for Google My Business. That's where you'll be able to activate your Google listing. Why are Google listings important? Number one, it's critical to getting your business found. It's critical to manage your reputation. Google listings are free and they're above the fold. What I mean by that, when someone does a search result, the first page they see of search results is considered above the fold. So right now, the only thing above the fold are ads or your listing. That's why you want to be up there in your listing. And the Google listing voice search. So when you're searching by voice on Google, you want to make sure your listing is optimized so you get found. So here's an example of above the fold. Restaurants in Sarnia. I was doing a certification course and some workshops out in Sarnia in the last few weeks. So this was one of the search results. So restaurants in Sarnia. So you can see all of these restaurants that appear. This is a Google search, are all above the fold. And these little dots here on the Google map are the Google listings. Okay, so what's a Google listing? Basically, it's the map point. And when you click on the map point, you can actually see more information. But what appears on Google is the map point and this information from the listing. So this is taken from the Google listing. The title of the company, the reviews that they have so far, the address, their hours of operation, and their features or their services that they've listed, as well as their company description shows up here. So it's really important. Another thing that'll show up here is when you toggle over their listing map point are any events they might have coming up, which is critical, or any new posts that they've posted to their Google listing in the last 7 days, and it's all for free. So it's really important that you understand how to leverage that. So here's an example, catering in Sarnia. These are all above the fold. Again, there's the Google listing. You can click on that to go to more information. I'll show you that in a second. Or you can see the information here. I'm just helping for a local garage company. They do auto repairs and oil changes. We searched for them. We were at their location and we searched for garages near me, and they did not come up because they hadn't claimed their Google listing and they hadn't obviously started posting to it. So that's something that I'm going to help them do, and I know that within the next 2 months they'll start coming up as the garage to go to for those items, changing your tires, oil repair, oil changes, and things like that, the keywords that we put in there. So before you go ahead and claim your Google listing, I want to ask you, which Google account do you think you should use to manage your Google listing? This is important. Which Google account should you use? So a story I have yesterday, again, when I was helping one local company, I went in, we looked to see their Google listing. It had already been claimed. And then when we went to claim it, we could see the first couple letters of the Gmail account that had already claimed it. It was a student that he had working for him a few years ago. So we had to track down that student and let them know that we're about to ask for ownership of our Google listing, and that student had to release it to us. If the student didn't release it to us in 10 days, you as the business owner, Google gives you the ability to now give them some more information to give you access and have you own your own Google listing. But to avoid all of that issue, just think about strategically which Gmail account should you use. What I recommend is that you use a Gmail account that you currently manage your YouTube with, because Gmail owns YouTube. A Gmail account that manages your Google Analytics. If you have a website, I'm hoping you have Google Analytics on your website, which is free. It tells you where your visitors are coming from, tells you what they're doing on your site. Or if you have a Google Ad account, I always suggest you create one Gmail account that manages all of your Google properties. Then if you ever go to sell your company, you are selling your company with, here is my Google properties, including my Google listing, my YouTube, my Google Analytics, my Google Ads. So strategically think of which Gmail account manages all that. And then you're going to see it's important because that Google account will be getting all the notifications from your Google business. So if you have a review, that Google email will get that account. So I also suggest strategically you think about who is going to be checking that Google account, who do you think should be checking your Google account if someone leaves you a review, or if someone even messages a question to your Google listing, which is now a new option? Who do you think should be managing that? I believe it's the same person that's answering your phone calls, that person that knows about your company. So we'll get to all of that. Okay, so first thing first, what are the elements of your Google listing? There's your company name, your map point, so you can move the map point if it's in the wrong place, your website address, phone number, hours of operation, areas of service. This is important. I'm glad I wrote that there. So I was working with some companies last week who areas of service was not just the city of their address, but also 4 other cities in the surrounding area. So your areas of service are important. So now when someone searches for, in that case, it was a person that did landscaping, landscapers near me, he's going to also come up in the other areas. So otherwise, he wouldn't come up if he was in a neighboring city. Okay, so that's pretty exciting. And the description is important. Products and services, that's very important because then it knows when to bring up your listing. Photos, videos, and 360 videos. It's another element of your Google listing. So far your name, your map, everything in the green area there was free. Your products and services are free. Your photos that you upload are free. Your videos that you upload are free. Your 360 videos, you need to contact someone who is a 360 Google certified provider. We happen to be. There are many in your own locations. They come in. If you would like an interior 360 shot done, they can do that, and then they have access to upload it to your Google listing. Otherwise, you do not have the ability to upload the 360 tour yourself, but you can upload a video. If you don't want to go through finding someone to do the 360 tour, you can walk through yourself with a video camera and upload that video. Okay, so if you have a retail location where you physically want people to come visit you, the outside has already been done with a 360 tour from Google. But you may want more outdoor photos. You may want seasonal photos. Or maybe it's changed since they've been there. You may want to just add your own external photos. If you're like myself, where you don't want your address public, for me, if someone's coming to my address for an appointment, it's appointment only. I give them my address. So I don't want my address out there. I'm not looking for people to drop in and try and book an appointment. All my appointments are booked online and then they come in. So when I claimed my Google listing, I made it so my address did not show up. So that's something that you're able to do if you're like myself, where you don't want your address out there. But I put in my service areas. Areas of service include many parts of Ontario and beyond. So the other parts that are on there, so far the green you add, the blue you add to your listing, the yellow others can add. Okay, I lie a little bit because others can also add photos to your listing, but others can definitely add the review, and they can add questions and answers and direct messaging, and that's optional. You can now have, through your Google listing, the ability for people to direct message you. If you watched my 2020 trends, you'll know in 2020 a trend is that people would rather direct message you than leave a voice message or an email and wait, maybe on hold for 10 minutes. They'd rather send you a direct message, and it's okay if they don't get a response within 10 minutes or a half an hour. They'd rather get a response through direct message. A lot of our humans out there would rather work through direct messages. So you can turn that on with your Google My Business listing and have that go to that same email that claimed your Google listing. So everything goes there. So reviews, I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you through reviews. Questions and answers, I'm going to take you through that. Why do you think the questions and answers are important on your Google listing? Because that is how you manage your reputation. That is also how you help your Google search results through the questions and answers. You think of the questions people might be asking Google to find your type of company. You go in and you add those kind of questions. I'll show you where. And then you go in and add the answers you'd like Google to provide to those people looking for your kind of company. Perfect, right? So you've got the reviews, which help manage your So you have the reviews, which help manage your reputation on your Google listing, and then you have the answers, which help manage your voice search on Google listings. So it's very powerful. And like I said, you don't need to have an address on your Google listing to manage it properly. You can be someone who is like myself, where the address is hidden, or you can be somebody who has a retail store and you want the address there. Or like many of my clients, they have multiple retail stores. Okay, so let's move on. So here's an example of a Google listing that was the one that we just searched for that said caterers in Sarnia. And this is what comes up. All of these points are Google listings. And when you click on one, up comes their Google listing information. In this case, this business posts to his Google listing. I'm just going to put everyone on mute for a moment. One moment, please. Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
I'm putting you on mute, but nice to see you. So with the Google listing, you're able to add, as I said, your own photos and make that experience when someone is seeing your Google listing, let them see who might they be dealing with. So add team photos. Who are your clients? Add client photos. What are your products and services? Add photos of your products and services that they might actually relate to. So don't just put up flyers. Make sure that it's something they can relate to, but make sure it's product or service related. Your Google listing is not where you're going to post things about your cats. It's strictly about your services and products. Okay, so here's an example of what the listing looks like. So there's a few things that are going on here. So you have the reviews. Right now, this gentleman had 71 reviews. That's what I'm talking about for managing reputation on your Google listing. You want to make sure that you're able to help people give you reviews. What a lot of people do that I work with, if they're working with someone, they get the link to their Google listing and they text it to people they've just had an excellent experience with, their clients, saying, would you mind give me a Google listing? That's something these guys do at their restaurants, which is very cool, as well as with caterers. And then down here, you'll notice something that's called questions and answers. As I said, anyone could ask a question and anyone can answer it, not just the business owner. But this is how you're going to help your Google voice search results through the questions and answers. So you want to go in there as the business or as a human outside, it doesn't matter, and ask the type of question you think people are going to search for on Google, and then enter the type of answer you would like Google to give them. So it's got to be short and specific, break it up into a number of different questions and a number of different answers. That's what we call optimizing your Google listing for voice search. It's very important because voice search, if you looked at my 2020 trends, is another big trend for 2020. People are going to be using and are using Alexa and Google and all these things for your searching. So that's how you get your Google listing to help you with that. Another element of your, so as I said, I should have gone to this slide so you could see it better. You got your Google listings, you click on that, and you can see all of the listings that this person has. And what did we say at the very beginning? They say that new consumers are going to look at least 10 different reviews about you before they make their decision. So here's an excellent place for you to ensure that you have reviews. And there's a link that you're able to send out to people, as I said, and ask them for your review. So that's really cool. And then we're going to talk about how you manage reviews in a little bit. And down here, like I said, this is where your questions and answers. Click on Ask a Question and think about those strategically. Those questions, by the way, if you wondered, should also be on your website. You want your website to be optimized for Google search results as well by voice. And the way you do that is by putting in text written out, short questions and short answers. So your website and your Google listing work together to help you optimize for Google voice search. Okay, so a checklist for your Google listing. I suggest that you think about, as I said, which Google account, which Gmail account you want to claim it with. So think about that. It's got to be strategic. I suggest it be the one that manages your analytics, your YouTube, and your Google ads if you have those. Bring them all together and then also claim your Google business with that. So if you ever sell your business, you're able to, here's the keys to my Google world, and it's one Gmail account with one password that manages all of that. And then make sure you're on your own computer. You don't have to be on your own computer, but it helps if that's where your Gmail account is. Have that Gmail account open in the background. You go to Google Maps or Google My Business and you click on it, and I'll show you on the listing itself. It'll say own this business. You can click on that to own the business, and then it's going to take you through steps to verify your Google listing. I have another video that you can look at on how to verify your listing. So you're going to click on claim this business or manage now. It's going to ask you, are you the business owner? Lately, I see it saying instead manage now. So you can click on either, and then you're going to go through these steps. And what it's called to claim your Google business. So you're claiming it as your own. And then it's going to send you a verification code, and you have some options to get this code. One option is that it's going to immediately call you with a 6-digit code. So that number has to be the phone number on the Google listing. However, if you're a brand new business and you don't have a phone number yet, it's going to send you a uh, it's going to send you a letter in the mail from Google. Takes around 7 days to get that, and then that will have the code in it. And you go back to the Google listing and you enter that code, and now it's yours. So it's very simple to do. So here, for example, I know it's probably hard for you to see this, but I went to search for businesses in First Nations near London. I was doing some certification out in London last week to some fantastic businesses for 2 days. And so we were looking at businesses in that area. So here's one. If I clicked on own this business, it would then let me go through the through the claiming process to own that business. So when you look at the results, if you don't see own this business next to it or manage now, that means is someone else has claimed it. So you'll be able to still look at what is the email. It'll show you the first couple letters of the email who claimed it, and then you start your detective work as to who might have claimed it. So this is what it looks like. You're going to go in and you're going to click on own this business. When you click on that, it's going to then take you to claiming it. So you click on that, and then it's going to, as I said, give you it's going to verify. It needs to verify that you are who you say you are. So it's either going to send you a phone. You can ask them to call, and when they call, it's going to give you a code right away. Okay, so it clicked on own this business, and it's going to say, do you want a phone call now? So someone has to be there to answer, or would you rather send mail? If you click on send mail, this is what it's going to look like. And the send mail is going to send you this letter and with the code in it. Okay. So after you've wanted to claim your business, you're thinking, well, where do I go to find it? How do I find where to enter the verification code? Well, it's pretty simple. You're going to go to, if you think about, you're going to log into your Gmail account that you've actually claimed it with. So remember I said have the Gmail account open. So if you haven't claimed the Google business yet, so before you've claimed it, this blue house will not be there, won't be there yet. After you've asked to claim it, refresh your screen and you're going to see this blue house there. Where is there? It's under all of your Google apps. So the Google apps are right there. So when you're logged into your Google Gmail account, this is happening at the top right. You'll see the icon that goes along with your Google business. Click on all these dots and then click on Google My Business, or this thing that says My Business. That's how you get into your Google business, okay? Your Google listing. So after you've done that, we're going to show you how to update it. So what I want to show you first is tips for dealing with reviews. I find a lot of people don't understand how to deal with their reviews. And it's something that we've been doing now for many years for our clients. We do reputation management, and we have clients who are in the oil patch. We have clients who are national clients. We have small retailers. So we have a number of different types of clients, and this approach works quite nicely. So tips for dealing with your reviews is you always want to keep one positive review in your back pocket just in case you ever get a negative review. So this is something that's not wide known, is not well known, but what Google does, and so does TripAdvisor, and so does Facebook, is it will present the review you've engaged with the most. And often what people do is they engage with a negative review back and forth online, and then they don't understand why that one keeps on being brought forward versus some of the great positive ones they've had. So what you want to do is if you get a negative review, reply to it short, be friendly, don't be salesy, acknowledge them, say thank you very much, ask them to call you or email you, whatever your contact approach is, and give them and as I said, give them a link, but you're trying to take it offline. Correct them a little bit, like if they were upset that your webinar didn't start until 12, and they go, well, you're in, Manitoba, and our it's actually started, or whatever, like if you happen to be in a different time zone. So correct them nicely and then ask them to take it offline so you can talk further. So always be nice, always take it offline. Then answer a positive one, and answer that one longer as far as how you type and like what you type in a number of sentences with links back to your website for more information. So make sure that you glow back on the positive ones. So for example, Cortha TV and Stereo, one of our clients, people love the TV they just bought from them. So then we're able to say, thank you so much. We really appreciate your business. We're excited that we were able to offer you our 2-year extended warranty that we now offer to anyone that buys a TV. So we're giving them more information that this person may not have put in their review, but it helps us as far as answering, and then maybe a link back to here's something else you might be interested in. You can't be salesy, but you need to give them valued content back. And then what happens is Google will put that one ahead of the negative ones. So that's why it's so important to manage your negative reviews that way. So here is something right from Google itself, which you can search for on your own if you like. Responding to reviews. Be nice, don't get personal, never get into a fight. Never get into a fight. Keep it short and sweet. Thank your reviewers no matter what they're posting. And then be a friend, not a salesperson. But don't be too friendly. But you're not trying, what they're trying to say here is don't be salesy. And then you can also flag a review that you received as inappropriate. So let me ask you, do you think you can remove a negative review? So what do you think? Do you think you can remove a negative review? You cannot remove a negative review. So with Google, you can't remove it, but you can flag a negative review. So I have helped our clients remove negative reviews, but it wasn't because they didn't like our product. It was because they were being bullies, or they were disrespectful, or they were swearing. So I take that back. You can remove, you can request to remove a review that is not on topic, and that is actually blaming you for something that you don't do for a living or being rude to one of your staff. So you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to ask them to remove it. Again, you can't remove it yourself. You have to flag it. And the ones that they'll remove are those ones that are being bullies to you, those ones that are being inappropriate, but they have to review it after you flagged it and they'll choose if they're going to remove it or not. You can never remove just someone that didn't like your services. Those will never be removed, but we talked about how you should manage those. So when you look at this, when you go to the review, you'll see these dots next to the review. So if you click on those dots, you can then flag as inappropriate. So that's how you're going to deal with that. So you're going to flag as inappropriate. You're going to indicate why it's inappropriate, and it gives you a couple of alternatives, and then Google will review it. And I've had some reviewed with and removed within a week. It doesn't happen automatically. Sometimes I've had to go back a few times to do it, but they won't remove it if it's just a negative type of service complaint. So that's where you're going to use those techniques we shared. So say you've gone to your, let me go back up here. You've gone here, you know how to get to your listing, you know how to verify it, you know that you're going to get reviews there. But how do you know there's been a review? Do you have to go check all the time? No, what happens is your every time there's activity on your Google listing, there is actually a notification that comes back to the Gmail account that you verified, that you claimed your listing with. So there's a notification. So this is why you want to think strategically as to which Gmail account am I going to use for my Google listing. So I have a separate Gmail account that I've created for each of my clients, which is what I suggest you do. And I have my Google listing notifications go to that. And then there's staff we have that goes to the Google listing Gmail account, and they check to see what's going on. So here, for example, it shows that there was a review. So we can click on that and go right to the review. Here there's, let's see, we have reports. I'll show you the reports in a second, but it looks like there's a lot of reviews, and you can click on those and reply to the reviews in the fashion we suggested. Also, what you're able to do is, I'm going to talk about this in a second, is add posts for free to your Google listing, because that helps with your search results. And the posts will show up on the map for 1 week. So what it also does is when your post is about to expire, which means in a week's time, 7 days, it's going to tell you 2 days before it's about to expire. I like that because it reminds me. So I click on that and it takes me to my Google listing again, so I can put in a new post. So the post doesn't disappear from your listing. It's just people have to scroll down to see it, but it just won't be showing up on your map. So the posts are free. They're very powerful. They're outperforming Google Ads. So we manage Google Ads for our clients as well, and the posts are doing really well. So here I'm just showing you the power of Google listings. This shows you one of the positive reviews, and then this shows you how I would reply to it. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the only proper electronics outlet store in Peterborough. I was amazed at the range of high quality, so fabulous review. So instead of ignoring it, or instead of just saying, yes, thank you, Nigel, this is the kind of review I would love people to see. So I went back in. I said, yes, we're proud of serving the community for decades, because I want people to know that we're locally run and operated. I indicate that we have the power of a buying group to be able to offer the best prices, and love the fact that they love Jamie. He's one of our fabulous staff. Thank you. We love Jamie. And we always say, come for the prices, stay for the knowledge. Actually, I think we say it the other way around. But so I put that out there so it's long enough that it might be something that Google will present quickly. And then all I do is post reply. I've logged into my listing with that Google email, and I'm able to reply to it. So the power of your listing. So what should be part of your Google listing? So again, you go back to the dots, go to my Google listing, and you want to think of the services and products people might be searching for. and you're going to add those to your Google listing. A description, a short description that people are going to see right under your company name. What should that be? Think of the first, I think it's around they only see the first 5 words. So be careful and make sure you put what's important up front. Service areas, photos, videos, that's all for free. And then a 360 tour if you want one, that's something that's you have to pay extra for. You bring someone in and then they have to load it to your Google listing. So these are the elements. When you first click on this little house, this is what you're going to go to. So you've got kind of this dashboard of your Google listing. It shows you at a high level what your performance has been for the last 28 days. So how many people have viewed your listing, how many searches it's been a part of, the activity on your listing. It shows you your latest posts. So this would be the post that you most recently did. So it's very robust. Then on the side here, it shows you where you can add posts, where you can add your information, where you can look at your insights, and I'll take you there in a second because I absolutely love insights. Being an engineer myself, I love the fact that it tells you so much amazing information. It tells you how they found your Google listing. It tells you if it found it on the map or on the listing itself. It tells you what they did. Did they click on directions? Did they call? Did they go to your website? Did they look at some of your photos? So you'll be surprised at how many thousands of people are actually looking at your photos. So you really want to be strategic at that. You can manage your reviews. This column here is reviews. That's where you would click on that. Messaging. If you choose to turn this on, because it's not automatically turned on, you can choose to turn on your messaging so people can message you through your Google listing. So if they find you on the map, they can actually now, they see your website, they see your phone number, but you can add to it a messaging option. And then you need to decide who in your company is going to be available for them to receive that message. So you want to think that through. Again, I always say whoever the person is that answers your phone calls, who currently answers your clients, they should be the one who's also using all of messaging services out there through Facebook, through Google Listing as another way to communicate to your clients. There is no time than now in the past that we've ever had so many touch points with our clients. It's very easy to keep in touch with our clients. So that's one of the things you want to think about. So let's just continue here. So we have, let's see if anyone has asked any questions on the chat. Nope. Okay. So there's photos and there's products. Whoops. Okay. I just wanted the chat. I didn't want to go back to seeing me. Okay. Good. So, and this is where you would add products and services. Very important. And you can create a website on Google Listing for free. So if you clicked on this and you were to create a website on your Google Listing, it actually creates one that is made up of the photos you've added to your Google Listing. If there are any reviews, it puts that in a testimonial area. If there are any questions and answers, it puts that in a frequently asked questions area. If you have new posts, it puts that in an updates area. So it's really excellent for a small company who doesn't want to keep their website up to date, but they're going to keep their Google listing up to date because it automatically feeds this website. You can't do anything else to it. You can't add apps to it. You can't do very much. It's just all the elements of your Google listing in a really nice, actually I'll show you. I have one that we just created. There we go. Min's Chinese Grocery. There we go. Okay. Good, you can still see me. So here you can see that we have his Google listing comes up. Let me make it a little bit smaller. So to date, he's only had his Facebook account, which is excellent because it's indexed by Google. He had a Yelp listing and some yellow pages and DBIA. Now he also has his Google listing. So this comes up for him, which is brand new. And on here we have a product that we just put up there. So once a week we go in and we put up a product for him. He's got reviews that come up, and which is really cool. Now this website that's here is the one I'm talking about that you can create on the Google listing. So it takes the name of the company that you put on your Google listing. It takes the short little bio we put on there, opens until gives you the the hours when it's going to close, the day you're looking at. You can call right from here. There's a great photo that we put up there. All the updates. So these are updates that we're putting up there for him. And you can learn more, call now. These buttons are up to you as to what you want to put there. That based on the post that you do. Your post can you can also have a call to action button, and you can see them in action here. You can have a call now or learn more or no buttons if you don't want any buttons. Then these are some more of the posts that we put up. These are the reviews. He has reviews. They automatically show up as testimonials. And if someone wants, if Google allows people to write a review right here, so it's engaging. This is the about that we added for him on the Google listing. These are the galleries. These are the photos we've uploaded for him, so it automatically shows up. And of course, the map shows up because this is the Google listing, and the call now and the get directions and the hours. So it's a great way if you have a small company who you know they are not going to want to update their website, but they want something up there that will help them get found. Nothing like the Google listing. And guess how much this costs to do that website? It's only $12 a year. So it could be free, but if you wanted to get a unique URL like he did, so for him we have a unique URL which is menschinesegrocery.com. So for that you can buy it through your Google listing, and I believe it was, say it's $15 for the entire year to host it and for the unique URL. So it's a very cost-effective way for small business owners, and I was just surprised how many business owners are not taking advantage of it. Okay. So let's just continue on the Google listing elements. There's the 360 tour. Like I said, you're outside, you already have a 360 tour if you're a physical location. And then if you wanted a 360 tour inside for people to walk through your location, that's something that a number of different companies in different areas do. And here's an example of the one we did for Knock on Wood. You can walk through Knock on Wood right from their Google listing. So I already showed you all of this. These are the elements of your Google listing. And what I want to do is show you when you log into it first, this is what you see. And I love the analytics, as I said. So one of the first things you're going to see on the analytics is how people discovered you. So in the last quarter, I'm not sure which one this is. This might be Knock on Wood. In the last quarter, 43,000 people discovered their Google listing. So of that, you can see that the blue is discovered by using keywords like furniture stores near me. The green is by direct. That means someone actually put in Knock on Wood. And brands, this is people that are searching for, in their case, Brentwood furniture, so different brands. So we love looking at this because you can also then click on discovery and see which keywords they're mainly searching for to find you on your Google listing. It's very telling. It's all free. It's so, so important. When you scroll down on your analytics here in the free Google listing, you're able to see, I'm not sure, I must have brought up another company, where it's been a quarter, 43,000 views in the, 73,000 views in the last quarter. It tells you if they found the Google listing on the list of or on the map. So it's showing us that 18,000 found them on the list and 54,000 found it on the map. So it's showing you how important it is, that map. Then what I love down here, this is actions in 1 month. It might be another client, I'm not sure. But in that 1 month, 283 people from the Google listing, and again, this is all free, visited the website, which is sweet. So this would be, if it's Knock on Wood, the Knock on Wood website we created for them, or if it's Kawartha TV and Stereo, it's the Kawartha TV and Stereo website. So it's going to your website. And then it shows that 24 asked for directions. So they clicked on the map and they asked for directions, and 33 called. So it's phenomenal amount of information. So one of the things, we're almost done now, I always suggest you do with your Google listing is to think about your communications calendar, and to think about how often should you be posting to your Google listing. Do you remember what I was saying? Once a week. once a week if you can. Once a month minimum, but once a week if you can. That way that post shows up on the map. So what we always do is we look at all of our calendars for our clients. We have calendars that we put together for each of our clients once a month, and we go through, okay, what's the theme, what are we posting every day. Some clients we post daily, some clients we post 3 times a week, and then we say, okay, and which of those posts are specific product or services that we're going to add to the Google listing. So that's important. It's really cool that you can also add events to your Google listing. Don't forget about that. So if you have a workshop coming up, you add that to your Google listing, because then if someone's looking for events near me on your Google listing, your event for free comes up. So I always say, if you're doing, we have another kind of approach to events. What you do 3 months ahead of time, what you do the day before, the week before, what you do the day before, what you do the day of, and then what you do after the event. And one of the things that we've added in there is your Google listing, adding an event to your Google listing. Okay, you can upload videos to your Google listing, native videos and photos. So there's a lot you can do. What I also suggest you do is you think about your, I always look at a month out, then I always, once a year, we look at everything you're going to do that year. And I say, okay, seasonally, are there specials I should be putting on Google? Trade shows that I go to or events that I go to, maybe a promo code. I don't really do contests on Google by themselves. I will actually turn an event into a contest. So I might have a contest that runs for a week. So I might do that as an event on Google. So that's really cool. But a promo code I like, because then I know if people are using that promo code, that they find me on my Google listing. So that might be something you might think about. And that's about it. That takes us to 10 minutes to ask for questions if you have any. What is that website? What is that website free? Yes, the website is definitely free, and I'm providing Carrie this video to everybody afterwards. So I'm actually recording it right now, so I'll be providing everybody the video. People that come to my courses and my classes, we give them the actual PowerPoints, but if you've come to the webinar, be happy to give you the video. So this is and I was just saying, obviously with the video you can stop and go forward. So I really like this approach where you think about a year out as to what might I put on my listing, because then it helps you remember to post to your Google listing, and it's kind of strategic. Okay, so next so next webinar, there was a question earlier as to when the next webinar will be. I'm going to have it in a month's time, so it's going to be on, I think it was April 8th. And the question is, what should we do on the next webinar? So I was thinking of doing this, which is my favorite apps that I use for all of my clients. So it's apps that I use to help me post better. And I'll be taking you through these. And this is something that I'll just share with you now. When you are posting on something I was sharing at a group that I was presenting at last week, I thought I would pull it in here for you guys. When you are thinking of posting on Google, it allows you to go in, and if you post something that's square or wide, it allows the photo to be whatever you want. So you don't have the restrictions on Google. You upload a photo, then it gives you the option to crop it. So it lets you take the whole photo, or it lets you make it wide, long, whatever you want, to take the part you want of the photo you've uploaded, and it lets you crop it, which is awesome. But if you're going to post to LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, it's wide, it's the red. It's you're posting your post shows up like this, the photo. If you're posting a story on Instagram or Facebook, it's vertical. It's like this. If you're posting on Instagram, it's green. It's the green part. It's square. So I always suggest you post thinking of the sweet spot of being in the middle, and put anything that's important in the photo or flyer, whatever you're posting, or video in the center. So then you can use that same photo for Instagram. You can use that same photo for Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and you can use that same photo as a story, and you're not losing anything off the sides or the top. So that's a little trick that I'll show you next time we get together. But these are some of the tools I was sharing with those folks in Tecumseh that I was with the other day, and I think they got a lot out of these apps. So I'm going to share those with you as well. Okay, and that's about it. Well, thank you very much. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook, sorry, on my own website, I have an area where I have all of my past um, um, webinars. I've decided to add them there, and that's where you'll be able to find it, or you can email me and I'd be happy to. So right here, next webinar on my website, and if you scroll down, that's you'll see what the next webinar will be, and this webinar will be in a video down here as well. Okay, thank you very much.